Nithyanandam Paramashivam Kevalam Jnanamurtim Dvandvartitam Gaganasadrisham Tattvarmasyaadhilaksham Ekam Nityam Vimalamachalam Sarvadhi Sakshibhutam Bhavartitam Trigunarahitam Sadgurum Tam Namami. Welcome everyone. Welcome to Hinduism Now Global Press. Hindus talking about Hindumisia. So today we have Rajanaya from Chennai as a panelist. So he will be talking about his experience as a Hindu and how he experienced Hindumisia in his life. So welcome, Aya.
Thank you, Nithyananda.
Dhyandam. So yeah. So tell us about yourself, Aya. Who are you? What you do?
Uh, I'm Rajan. I'm a software engineer. So I work in this software industry for more than 10 years. So basically, I am born and brought up in Chennai, but my parents are from southern part of Tamil Nadu. So, to tell about my family, my father is a mechanical engineer and he was an industrialist for more than 15, 20 years. And then he worked as a senior position in multinational companies. And now he is retired. And my mother is a qualified teacher. And my sister, I have an elder sister. She is also she is also an engineer and now she's an homemaker. This is about my family and basically as I said, my parents are from South Tamil Nadu. So they are from a village compared to Chennai. It's a village. So like my parents are intercaste and interreligion. So my mom is a Christian and my father is a Hindu. So I got to know about both the religion right from my childhood. So I'm introduced to that religion and practices being followed in those religions. And as a family, when I got introduced to this kind of situation, like as a child, the way I got introduced and the way I got related, it influenced me a lot. At different stages of life, the way the things I got introduced and the way I got used to it was really sometimes it made me comfortable and sometimes it was surprising. So I think it's a short introduction about myself.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, so yeah, as you said, you're in Chennai, right? So I think
Yes.
you have experienced both Hinduism and Hinduism as at least as equal. So
Yes.
yeah, take us about your earliest memory. How you came to know about Hinduism and how it influenced in your life.
As I said, I got introduced to Hinduism. First thing I got only introduced to Hinduism, maybe for in my childhood. I got introduced to Hinduism through my father. He used to perform the prayers he used to perform, all the chantings he used to do. I got introduced and influenced a lot. The earliest memory I have is like he used to chant Saundarya Lahari at my home. Early morning it will happen, and by the time when he wakes up and it'll be like, why this person is doing this point of time? I'm really tired. Why he want me to wake up this morning and sit and chant, and why I need to wake up and take bath at this time? This is the time to sleep and I'm tired, I want to sleep. But my father, without any support, much support from my mother, actually he really influenced me. And it was really impressive. And I can say I really want those days back. It's I really miss this because he want us to get introduced to those kind of practices which he didn't even experience uh, when he was child. But he he knows the benefit. he has some way or the other he has experienced it, but he wants the same thing to be transmitted to us, but without any much support. Actually, he made us do, myself and my sister. Sometimes when we wake up and we'll see, myself and my sister will see each other's face, we'll talk without without any words. We'll communicate why we are, why we need to wake up at this time. I'm getting sleep, I want to sleep now. And I can say that is the it's an interesting memory.
Yeah, so yeah, that's great. Yeah, even I had the same kind of experience in my young age. So
Nice.
people would go, as it's Margali month, people would go morning, early morning, 3. They would go to temple, and they would just they won't go silently. They would be like
Yes,
a
exactly,
alarm for a
exactly,
village.
exactly.
Yeah.
We
So
had a
okay.
tape recorder in our house, so still I remember the cassette we used to play, that Soundarya Lahari. So
Okay.
sometimes I'll see that, okay, this is the cassette that is waking me up at this point of time. So somehow something I want to do this. I'll during daytime I'll find this, but only when I go to sleep I'll forget about it. And next day morning it'll be played, and I need to wake up for that.
Yeah. So yeah. So this was around happening around which age? Can you tell
Uh,
that?
Maybe I can say like LKG, UKG.
Oh yeah, so that's so much young. Yeah, so is there any time do you understood, like, I mean, try to understood why they are doing it, or did you ask your parents about that?
I have never asked actually. First thing, I asked only one question. If it is Saturday, Sunday being an holiday for me, I myself will wake up early, and then without informing anyone, I'll go to playground, and no one will be able to find me at home by that time. But during weekdays, even when they wake me up, I'll not wake up. So that is the way I spent my time. So I never asked that kind of question, but it will be interesting to pronounce the words like which is not even being used regularly in my life. When I chant Saundarya Lahari, few words, I don't know the complete Saundarya Lahari. I know few verses, but when I chant when I chant few words which is not even being used regularly, it will be like uh, the sacredness influenced me. But I don't know, like I was facing it with the pain. So like I'm spoiling my sleep. That is the only thing I had. So like I did not ask that kind of question. And moreover, my parents repeatedly used to tell, when you want to play, you used to go out. But when you want to do something useful, you'll not do it. So that is what my parents used to tell. So personally, I had some interest over it, but I never asked why I'm supposed to do this. But I've seen my sister asking, and my father used to tell it's good. That
Okay.
is the only thing. And I always had my mother who used to used to uh, she'll not force me to do something, and again she'll not like what to say, she'll not disrespect it, because she's from a different religion, though she doesn't know why these things are being chanted, but she always had a respect for prayers. So like what to say, I always had uh, a place to escape, as well as right place I was caught to the right to do the right things.
Yeah, that's yeah, nice. So you said your mother is from another religion, right? So
Yes.
yeah, so that's very hard to find nowadays. Having a mother from another religion, and I mean, allowing their children to follow the dharma. So it's quite different for me. Is there any point in time where you also try to cover both aspects, like your mother's aspect and your father's aspect?
You mean to say Hinduism as well as Christianism?
Yeah, yeah. In that sense, yeah.
Yes, definitely. I've always tried to do that because, when it comes to my relatives and the closed ones perspective, my family is actually like only my father and mother are in Chennai. Ours is a huge family. My father's side, there are totally eight people, including my father, and then from my mother's side, there are totally eight people, including my mother. And my mother is the last one, and my father is the first one over here. So it's actually a big family, and all their siblings are in my native, at least in the close by villages. So when we go there, my mother's relatives are close to me. So I always feel like I didn't know much about this is Hinduism, this is Christianism. I didn't know. Only place I know Hindus and Christians are different is church and temple. Other than that, during my childhood days, I didn't know. I don't have any knowledge about that. And when we go to church, the way they pray will be sophisticated. That kind of influence I had. And when we had only Kula Deva, and we didn't have. I was not introduced much about the practices being followed in temples like Tiruvannamalai or Kapalishwarar Koil or Parthasarthi temple, where the prayers, the rituals will be a bit different. Mine is Kuladeva temple, and there we had the practices will be a bit different. So I always thought like the sophisticated people appeared bit elite to me, whereas the traditional approach was Kuladeva approach was not sophisticated. It didn't look sophisticated to me. So I had that comparison. So, but my father influenced me to Hinduism a lot. So I always had respect for the practices, whatever he is following. And my father used to do yoga, and uh, like he, without any training, he used to do most of the yoga poses. I can say more than 100 yoga poses he used to do, and I've seen his picture. So through my father I had a lot of respect for Hinduism, but through the practices whatever I have seen in my mother's side, it appeared Christianism appeared sophisticated to me. So when I go to village, and that is the place where I see I have lot of near and dear ones, so at least to please them, and they are really affectionate to me because I'm the last child from my mother's side. So I like what to say, at least till the age of 12 I'll be sitting over their lap. I was that small at that point of time, and they'll carry me. So it was really what to say, it was an affectionate community when I go to my village. So I really try to please both the sides.
Okay. Yeah. So you are saying about now about your father's side in your
Yes.
village.
Yes, both the
Mm,
sides.
yeah.
My father and they are actually from the same street. They are love marriage.
Oh, okay. 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 Great. Okay. So you said your father will be doing yoga, right, in the morning.
Yes, yes.
Yeah. So as your father is your inspiration for Hinduism, did you started doing yoga? I mean, did you got the benefit of doing it?
I can say uh, the whatever the flexibility or the intensity that my body, which I got from my parents, I can say the flexibility is from my father. But I never learned anything useful from my father because I'll run away since he wake up me early in the morning. So I used to listen to his words when he is talking to my sister.
Okay.
I never allow him to talk to me directly because I always had the fear. But I always listen to the words, what the communication that is happening between myself, I mean my sister and my father, and sometimes my father and his colleagues or friends. So
Hmm.
through that, I can say I got influenced a lot. All the useful things I have learned only indirectly.
Okay. Okay. So yeah, it's nice. So how was your relationship with your sister? how it went? How
Uh,
how, how was your experience?
like my sister, she is one of the good friend to me. So like we are, my sister is elder to me. So like what to say, the place where we lived, it was like a community only.
Mm.
So right opposite to my house, we had a big playground.
Okay.
So at least till the age of what to say, till the age of 25 around, uh, I grew up in that kind of place. I lived in that kind of community.
Okay.
So right from my childhood, I had this kind of environment where I get to mingle with the people, and I always had a lot of friends. So my sister is also one among them, and anything which I share with her will be in the no, like in the friendship note, never ever in the like in the tone of a relationship mode. It will be purely friendship mode. So that
Okay.
is the way of like the relationship I
Yeah.
had with
Mm.
my sister.
Okay. So so you was saying about age 12 where you got experiences of both worlds, right? How to respect each and other words. So so what happened next? How do you experience any Hindu hatred away from your family, right? Like apart from your family, is there any hatred you experienced at those times?
um, See, first thing, like my family, within my family and outside my family, like within my family, as I said earlier, my father and mother are the like from the village, and from our family side only they are at our I mean they are in Chennai. Rest of them are in still in the native. So when it comes to relative side, the community, what the influences of the different religion, like I had it only occasionally, maybe yearly once or twice, or when they come to Chennai, to our house. But in the community, in the place where we lived in Chennai, I got, I have seen a lot of things. And to start with, from my relative side, I never ever felt this like what to say, since I have seen my father as a very strict person and a disciplined person. uh, I had an opinion about my father that he's very rude, arrogant, and that kind of opinion I carry about my father. So whenever my relatives show any kind of strict or obedient or arrogant view about my father when they are discussing, I always thought that this is the opinion even I carry. So I know only at the later point of time I got to know the religious influences they carry over my father for the practices which he is following. So I always thought that is because of his behavior they are carrying this kind of opinion about my father. But only
Okay.
later point of time I got influenced to those kind of situations. And definitely to say that it's not probably after 15 or 16 only I got to understand about this kind of views. But when it comes to my to the place where I lived, right? There were a lot of what to say, people who really what to say, who really followed the religion Hinduism very obediently and ritually they followed.
Mm.
Uh, I would say it was a pleasing environment. And when it
Okay.
comes to the people who lived around us, they were really good, and they really appeared elite when it comes to Hinduism. Then I see the Hinduism in my village. So
Okay.
I can say I had a lot of respect for Hinduism through them as well.
Okay. Okay. So okay, that is, yeah. So you said you came to understand why your father has been hated just after either 15 or 16, right?
Yes, actually, like see, when it comes to the what to say, like I've always been a kind of a person to bring religious harmony,
Okay.
like peace between multiple religions. At least
Mm-hmm.
what to say, at least uh, till my college days, I was that kind of a person. What is
Okay.
there in religion? I was that kind of a person. But I know some of the advantages and disadvantages. But I was that kind of a person because I have seen my parents for the sake of religion or that kind of discussions will never happen much, because my father had taught used to discuss a lot of things from Bible, and my mother will share a lot of stories from what to say, Mahabharata or Ramayana. Some of the interesting things she used to share.
Oh, okay.
Some good stories she used to share. So maybe later point of time only I got to know about the hatredness which I got influenced. Maybe what to say, if something which has happened 5 or 6 years ago, I got to know about that later point of time. Thank God, I would definitely, I will say, uh, those things were registered in my mind, and I was able to correct a lot of things. Even though it has happened 5 6 years ago, I was able to correct thing. And the best thing is I haven't done anything bad, hearing that influence with that kind of ideas
Okay.
about, like, what to say, if they have given some negative idea about Hinduism. I've never done anything bad, but I carried that idea for quite some time. And when I got to know the, for some silly reasons, they have posted influenced that ideas over me, and I was able to change the idea. But I have never done anything wrong carrying that idea. So definitely, I should thank my father mainly, and my mother for supporting me.
Yeah. 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 Should. Yeah. You should. Okay. So at that time, when you encountered first about Hindumisia, right? So, what was your understanding of Hinduism? How do you perceive yourself following it?
Actually, my view about religion was mainly like uh, something. The view about culture itself was different for me. If you are doing something elite, sophisticated, then you are from a good religion. If you are doing something very raw, very straight, you are not cultured. That is the view I had about Hinduism and Christianism. Those are the two religions I got introduced those times. So since I had that kind of view, everything which I see from my father's side in my village appeared to me uh, like I mean those ideas were from my mother's side actually. Most of the ideas were from my mother's side and from media actually. So because of that, I thought they'll not even uh, what to say. They'll not even think to kill a person. That kind of idea I carried about Hinduism, especially when I go to my village. But when I go to my relative's house from my mother's side, I thought like, okay, here I'm safe.
Okay.
Because from my father's side, I'll see like, okay, um, like they are really rude. I don't know when they are going to get anger, and then when they are going to beat me. When they are going to attack me, I don't know. But when it comes to my mother's side, no, it will happen step by step, and definitely it's not going to end up in fight. But I really didn't know the cunning ideas they had in their mind when they are doing those kind of what to say, polite, sophisticated approach. But I really didn't know what kind of cunning strategies they had in their mind. I really don't, but I really regret now, because I was there in those kind of situation. But they had done something. uh, they had some cunning ideas, they had done that. But my father's side, they were really straight. but they are innocent many times.
Okay. Okay. So
So
yeah. So you said you were afraid of being in your father's village, thinking they may get angry anytime, right?
yes,
Yeah.
yes.
So yeah. So is this? Do you think you understood it, or you got influenced? What? In which way you think it happened?
See, my father will be straight when it comes to expressing things. Being a child, it was really too much for me to carry it. When it comes to sharing things, that's why, as I said earlier, I've never learned any good things directly from my father. Only when he talks to my sister, I listen to it and I'll follow it. So that is the way, even from my father's side, they relate, like either my grandmother or like my father's siblings. Uh, Even like when it comes, they'll be very straight, and it was that kind of thing. So when something is straight, obviously confusions will happen. So I couldn't handle that kind of uh, a straight communication when it comes to, I mean, it'll be I would say, it's like one more thing has happened in my life, which I want to share. Since my father and mother are from different religion, either side they had that kind of, they had the problem. So I always had this kind of opinion, because of, since they got their love marriage, I thought like, okay, because of like father side will have anger over my mother and mother side will have anger over my father. So everything is happening because of that. That is the only view I carried for a long time. So since, as I said, the straight thing, what the straight expressions of my father side, I couldn't handle for a long time. So I couldn't categorize it, uh, maybe, what to say, the straight, even if someone says some good things with a straight intention or saying very powerfully, I was not able to handle.
Hmm.
So that kind of influence I had.
Okay. So it's like you have been influenced to think they may get angry or anything. Is that right?
Yes, they may get angry, and whatever they are expressing straight, or whatever which they are doing it, is not uh, is like they are having some idea over me. That is the opinion I had.
Okay.
That
Yeah.
normal flow, because I already had this kind of problem. Like my father's side or mother's side will have anger over either of them because of the marriage. I had this kind of opinion. Whereas when it comes to this practices point of view, only later point of time I got to know, like my grandfather was see, first thing, I used to go to my village only yearly once. But my grandfather was taking care of our Kuladevata temple. I didn't know. I was not introduced to them.
Okay.
So all the ritual practices, everything, my grandfather used to take care.
Hmm.
And like only when my grandfather goes to the temple, lot of activities will happen regularly and properly. So those kind of practices I was not introduced at all.
Okay.
And since from my father's side I'm the first male child,
Hmm.
so they had a lot of considerations from my father's side, who are associated to temple. They had a lot of consideration, and I got to know about the respect of being a first male child in the family maybe 2 3 years before.
Oh, recently.
Yes, I didn't
Okay.
I didn't even know the importance of it and my responsibilities.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So I would say, like, a lot of things I really missed, and I was not even introduced to it. And
Okay.
I would say the whole thing might be because of um, the religious influences from my mother's side to my mother, not
Hmm.
because of my mother directly, from my mother's side to my mother.
Okay.
So the way the religious communication happening at our home will be like only a good story, good value, good morals only they'll discuss. But the practices, whatever we do, it will be when my from people from my mother's side comes to our house. Certain things if we do, they will create some story, and at last it will come to my mother, and they'll create a lot of cunning stories, and that the end result of the cunning story will come to our house.
Okay.
So it will be really what to say, a problem which has happened 1 or 2 years ago. Only at the later after 1 or 2 years only we'll be able to understand. When they came 2 years ago, they created this story, and this story has created this impact in our house. So I was facing most of the problems I faced uh, was this kind of problems only.
Okay. So it's like a chain reaction happening.
Yes, definitely. I have seen lot of chain reactions. And
Okay.
I got introduced, I mean, like I got to know about this kind of chain reactions very recent, maybe like what to say, uh, getting introduced to Swamiji only, I got to know a lot of these kind of chain reactions happen in my family.
Yeah. So Swamiji, you mean Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Bhagavan Shri
Yes,
Nithyananda Paramashivam.
yes, definitely.
Okay. 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 I ask you. So let's go back and see. So what was your teenage years about Hinduism? Like, you were in city, right? In Chennai.
Yes, yes,
Yeah. So the aspects of Hinduism which is available at village would not be there in cities.
yes, yes.
Yeah. So how was the change for you when you went from village to city
Yeah,
for
I'm born and brought
schooling?
up in Chennai only, so
Yeah. So
I
yeah,
was
yeah,
not.
yeah. You said you
Like
would go to a village for
village is the
vacation.
place where I see two religions, but when it comes to a city, mostly uh, to answer your question, my teenage was near my house. There was a Chandramaulishwara Shiva temple. Actually,
Okay.
I used to regularly visit the temple. Like
Mhm.
it was a I love the temple. All the priests in the temple. I love the temple very much. Even now, when I go that side, like I shifted my house now,
Okay.
so I really love the temple, and the love for I don't know why I had that much love. Every day I used to visit the temple, like uh, at the same time to please my mother, uh, and from my mother's side as well.
Hmm.
I used to visit church as well. I'll
Okay.
be standing outside, or sometimes I'll go inside. And during in the church, like my mom is a Roman Catholic Christian,
Okay.
so at least to please my mom, and the story which they say in the temple, to listen to that, I'll go to church. I'll listen to that story, and then I'll come back. But wherever
Mhm.
I go, either to temple or church, uh, more instead of listening to the religious influences, I always focused on devotion. My
Mhm.
father and mother are really interested on that. So I would say I was mainly focusing on devotion at that point of time.
Okay.
So my kind of influence over the hatred, like I have seen a lot of people getting hatred, like to Hinduism during my teenage. And I would say I was blessed at that point of time, because I've seen my a lot of friends
Mhm.
who who used to visit Sabarimala temple, uh, like being in Viradam for 48 days, completely becoming an atheist.
Oh.
And sometimes they were forced to start that Viradam, but after wearing that mala and everything, they'll do all sorts of nonsense.
Yeah.
I've seen people doing that. And when I got to know why they are they'll not be very straight in their answer. Why you are doing like this? When we ask, they'll not be very straight in answering those things. They'll
Yes.
say like, what God gave me. And slowly, when I got to know why this fellow's mind changed, because just 2 3 years before, the same person, the idea which he carried will be completely different. He'll be that much devoted, and he'll be like, hope you know that the practices we follow during Viradam, like they used to sleep only in the floor.
Yeah.
They need to take bath twice. They need to visit temple
Yeah.
very probably by the age of 10 or 11, they have followed very strictly with lot of devotion whatever they have done.
Mhm.
Within 2 3 years, the way they change will be completely different. So
Okay.
I would say, like, the way I saw the ideas through which they got influenced was mainly, it was kind of a communist based ideas. They
Oh, okay.
become the devotion became ritualistic. The devotion became materialistic. They started comparing with the marks.
Yeah.
I did not get marks. I prayed to God. I did not get marks. And I would say, like, I was blessed really a lot, because my father never cares about the marks.
Mhm. Okay.
So, like, though I was not a very poor student in my studies, but my father never cares about that.
Okay.
But just for the and this fellow, who never even worried about, who never even cares about studies, just because he goes to temple, he always think that he should get good marks, and
Yeah.
he'll spoil the culture.
Yeah, that's a typical mindset of teenagers in India.
Yes, definitely, I have seen that.
Yeah.
As I said, like, the area where I grew up, like, it will be like, it was most of the people were like, they are my relatives. Like, it was like, my the person next to my door, he's also from same age, but he's actually from Rajasthan.
Oh.
And the next door person is, she's a girl, and she's equal to my sister's age, and she's from a Brahmin community. So similarly, the whole street, like, when I grew up, at least more than 10 to 15 years, uh, people in my same age group were around 20 plus. And when I
Okay.
go to the playground, it will be like, right, when I came back from school, by 3 or 3:30, I'll go to playground until 9 o'clock. I'll not come back home. So they know this person's father and mother is this one. And when we do some good or bad, automatically the information will come to our parents. So I would say, like, definitely, if we some bad is happened, then the news will come to our father parents.
Okay. Oh, that's nice. That's some kind of strong connection.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah. Yeah. So I think we are ahead of our time. So we have a lot to speak. You haven't even crossed your teenage, I think. So yeah.
Yes, I have a lot of influences that has happened, either like religiously, as well as in the perspective of the practices we followed at the later point, how it got changed because of the ideas from different communities and uh, different different sectors
Mhm.
of people. I have a lot to share on that.
Yeah. So yeah, so we will continue next time soon. So is there anything you want to share?
I'm good. Thank you.
Yeah, okay. Okay, so we will end now with Purna Mantra, and we will meet again soon.
Yeah.
Yeah. ॐ पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः हरिः ॐ दत्सत् सर्वं भगवत् नित्यानंद परमशिव पादुकार्पणमस्तु नित्यानंदम्. Thank you, yeah, thank you for